Thanks for joining me today. My name is Alan Taksh and I'm the principal attorney at Taksh Law PC, a full-service immigration law firm serving the greater Chicagoland area and beyond. In this video, we will review the process of adjusting one's status through marriage to a U.S. citizen. In filing for adjustment of status, AOS, you will be dealing with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, which in turn is under the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, DHS. This process is often referred to as AOS one step, because in one step you file a whole slew of forms and supporting documents together. Those forms include the I-130, proving that the relationship is bona fide or real, the I-485, which is the application for permanent residence, the I-765 to obtain work authorization, the I-131, permission to travel or advance parole, the I-693, which is the medical examination report, the I-864 to show that the petitioner has the financial means to support you, and until recently the I-944, self-sufficiency declaration proving that you are not likely to become a public charge or a financial burden upon the United States. There's right now litigation, so the applicability of the I-944 has to be scrutinized and you have to do your due diligence to see if it applies to you. The supporting documents needed include but are not limited to birth certificates, passports, I-94s, your certificate of marriage, divorce decrees from prior marriages, if applicable, of course. 2 passport style photos for both the petitioner and the beneficiary, and any and all evidence proving that the claimed relationship is real. Now, how do you go about proving that a relationship is bona fide? First off, every relationship is different. But all relationships have one thing in common, and that's love. To prove that you entered into marriage to start a life together, you will need to show that you are cohabitating, which means living together, and that you have commingled your funds. A fancy way of saying you are sharing your money. 2 very important concepts and proofs include such things as house deed, lease agreement, bank statements, credit cards, you name it. Additionally, you may provide evidence of such things as joint health, dental, auto, life insurance, joint bills such as cell phone, electricity, gym membership. Again, the list goes on and on. Finally, it is always a good idea to provide 30 to 50 photos of you, your spouse, family, friends to show that loved ones are aware of and would attest to the bona fide nature of your relationship. If a couple does not have a lot of evidence to present to USCIS initially, it is advisable to ask a handful of family members or friends to provide a detailed affidavit or statement in support of the claimed relationship. Prior to COVID-19, you would receive your receipt notice within approximately 2 weeks of filing your application. Right about the same time, you would receive your biometrics notice to get your fingerprints taken, and about 5 to 7 months thereafter, you would receive your combo employment authorization document / advance parole. And after approximately 9 months or so, you would be asked to appear for your initial interview. And finally, if all went well, you would receive your conditional green card, which would be valid for 2 years in the mail about a month later. Now, given the challenges posed by the global pandemic, as well as some internal USCIS issues, wait times are expected to increase. The extent of the expected delays is unfortunately unknown. It is therefore logical to presume that a process which used to take about 10 months or so will now take about 12 to 15, if not longer. 12 to 15 months, that is. In terms of the prospects of travel while your case is pending, I am always asked, is it a good idea to do so? And here's my answer. Travel if you must. But if you can wait, then wait. Why do I say that? Because advance parole, remember, does not guarantee that you will be allowed back into the US. Your admission, even with an advance parole, is discretionary, which means that the Customs and Border Protection Officer has the authority to disallow you from entering the US. The majority of the time, all goes well and the beneficiary has no problems coming back in. But if there are additional previously unknown inadmissibility issues, they can in fact block that person's re-entry. Now, emergency situations are different, of course, because family comes first. And so, despite my counsel to do this or that, a client will do what he or she deems necessary at the time. Another frequently asked question involves one's status during the AOS process. And so here's the bottom line. In an ideal world, I would advise every single one of my clients to do whatever it takes to maintain their status. But it is not always possible. As an example, in the case of a student visa holder, sometimes you are not able to afford school. Sometimes you are forced to work to make ends meet, thus violating the terms and conditions of your non-immigrant student visa. Sometimes you file to change from one non-immigrant visa to another only to have that application denied, leaving you without status. And so the examples go on and on. If, however, you are married to a US citizen, then you can still obtain a green card by virtue of your relationship to the American citizen spouse. If, on the other hand, you are married to a green card holder who is your petitioner, you must maintain your status throughout the pendency of your case, assuming that a visa was available under the F2A category at the time of filing, continues to be available at the time of your interview, and all the way to the time that USCIS makes a decision on your case. There are, of course, countless other nuances that may affect a case, which is why I always encourage folks to seek the guidance of an experienced immigration attorney. On that note, I will stress the following as well. Remember, you do not need an attorney, but you would probably want to work with one because of the ever-changing immigration landscape and because of how important the overall process is to the trajectory of your life here in the United States. I thank you so much for watching. There will be plenty of other videos down the line, and so take care, be safe, and God bless.